Hey everyone. For this week's Embodied Faith practice, I want to talk to you just really briefly about feeling sad. There's a lot to feel sad about in our world, and even here close to home. So many of us are still grieving the loss of so many folks in the Central Texas flooding, specifically a bunch of kids at camps. Whether you have kids or not, the images of the smiling little kids who went missing is just horrific and painful. What's happening in our country more broadly, the way that we're treating immigrants and folks on the margins, disabled people, trans people, the targeting, the dehumanization is just so much to take in. And I know I talk a lot about how it should move us to justice and to justice work. But before any of that can happen, I think we have to allow that stuff to move us toward feeling sad, the mourning and lament. In fact, the Bible has this entire practice of lament. And it really is just this being honest and introspective about feeling sad and allowing yourself to feel that sadness and knowing that God is right there feeling it alongside of you. One of my favorite texts in all of Scripture talks about how Jesus is not this God that's far removed. In fact, Jesus not only put on flesh and came to earth, but empathizes with every part of the human experience, including our sadness. Psalm 56 talks about how God keeps track of all of our sorrows, keeps our tears in his bottle, writes every one of them down in his book. God knows when we're sad. And I believe that God's sad alongside of us. And so here's my encouragement for you this week is just to allow yourself to feel sad, if that's what you're feeling, to not rush through it, to try to figure it all out, to try to be moved into the justice work to fix every problem, but really actually allow yourself to sit in the lament for a little bit, to know that it's normal to feel sad and that we actually need to make sure we don't lose our ability to feel sad, to be moved by things that are painful. Because that's actually what allows us to step into this work that God has for us. So this week, today, take a breath, take a second, carve out 5 or 10 minutes, sit with the heaviness and the pain that you're feeling. Allow tears to come if they need to. Allow yourself to just sit in silence if that's what you need. But know that God is right there with you, that Jesus empathizes with our sadness, and that God records all of our tears. None escape his sight, that he is with us and he feels alongside of us. I hope this is helpful as you try to put this spiritual practice into life this week.